Hello everyone, welcome back to the vlog. Sorry it's been a while, been a bit busy, had lots of exams and stuff, so been busy with uni, but yeah, welcome back. So those of you who follow me on Instagram and Facebook will know that I asked the other day for some questions because I was going to do a Q&A vlog, so here it is. Thank you for everybody who gave me questions. There's a wide variety of questions, so let's get into it. These are in no particular order, there's the order they came into me, so some of them are very quick fire and some of them are very deep. Starting off with a deep one. What motivates you? What motivates me? In a shooting specific context, I'm always motivated to get better. Actually that's in general a life context. I always want to be improving. In shooting specifically, making improvements and shooting better and understanding more about myself and how I put in good performances. I guess everything else is the same, I'm always motivated to try and improve myself and get better, so easy peasy. What is the purpose of life? Really the only thing I can answer to that is 42, but that's the answer to life, so maybe what's the purpose of life? I'd say the purpose of life is to experience what this world has to offer us, making connections with people and doing what makes you happy and what makes other people happy, I suppose. Significance of rings. I'm going to assume you means the ones on my hand and not the ones in my ears, or the Olympic rings, I suppose. The significance of the ring on my hand, this one, I don't know if you can see that, but my grandma gave me this ring. It's got the Olympic rings on it, engraved on it, and inside it says Tokyo 2021. My grandma got it for me when I got selected for the Olympic team, so I wear it to keep me luck. Significance of locket. Again, I'm assuming you mean this one. It's not actually a locket, it's a necklace. Again, my grandma gave it to me. On one side it has St. Christopher, who's the patron saint of travellers, so she gave it to me to wish me luck when I was travelling, because I do a lot of travelling. And on the other side it's got my name engraved on it and World Champion 2018, as a commemoration of when I became world champion. So I wear it pretty much all the time, partly to wish me luck, and partly kind of to remind myself if I'm ever feeling a bit unconfident, or not feeling my best, is to remind me that actually I'm good at this. So it's a bit of a confidence booster as well. What is your preference of occupation of your life partner? I don't really have a preference of occupation of my life partner. It's not something I've ever really thought about. If I love the person, then I don't really care what they do. Yeah. How are you sustaining yourself financially right now? I'm very lucky that I get, in Britain, I get something called lottery funding, and we call it an APA, or an Athlete Personal Award. So I receive funding through UK Sport via the lottery funding, and that is how I sustain myself financially. My relationship status and when you're planning to marry. I am currently single, and I will marry if and when I meet the right person. Easy as that. When will you visit India? I was hoping to visit India this year, or this coming January, for the Commonwealth Championships, but they've been cancelled, so I don't know when I'll be visiting India. I hope to, I'd really like to, but yeah, just so far haven't managed to. In what country would you want to settle in after retirement? Canada, Australia, or India? I mean, after I retire from shooting, or after I retire when I'm old? I don't know. I'd very much like to retire to Hawaii sometimes. I realise that's not Canada, Australia, or India. Out of those three, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it depends what life gives me between now and retirement age, to be honest. I've not been to India, as we've already discussed, but I've been to Canada, I've been to Australia, and I love both of those countries, so I could quite happily live in either of them. But yeah, like I might retire. At some point I'd like to travel and see bits of the rest of the world, but you never know. I might retire to my own country and live in Scotland. So I don't know. Somebody asked, do you love me? I'm sorry, but I don't know you, so I can't say if I love you or not. But thank you very much for asking. That's very sweet. When did I start shooting? I was about 14 when I properly started shooting. Like I'd had a few goes before that, but I was 14. I started shooting at school. That was prone only, and full bore. And then when I was 16, I took up a rifle for a number of years, and then it was 2015 that I took up 3P, so I would have been 19 when I started shooting 3P. Pancakes or waffles? Pancakes, I think. When I say pancakes, I mean crepes rather than the sort of like squishy fluffy pancakes. I'm not a huge fan of those, I'm sorry. Which book do you follow for basic electronics? I follow this one. This is the one I got when I first went to uni to do electrical engineering, and it is like chock full. It's got like everything in it. So that one. What's it going to be for lunch? Today, pasta probably. I pretty much only eat pasta at the moment. Am I following any specific diet? Not really. I do eat a lot of pasta, and I do eat too much pasta. At the moment I'm just being particularly lazy because pasta's the easiest thing to cook. I don't follow any particular diet, but I do try to eat clean as much as possible. Like I'm never like 100% on that. I do eat pizza and I eat chocolate bars, but mostly I try and eat relatively clean and pretty healthy. Other than that, I don't follow any specific diets. What do I want to pursue after retirement? After retirement from sport, I'm assuming that is. I have studied engineering at undergraduate and now at master's level, so probably engineering. Biomedical engineering is what I'm very interested in, so probably that. I have lots of interests, to be honest. I'm very interested in music as well. But to be honest, I don't think I'm like talented enough at music to make a career out of that, but pursuing as a hobby, yeah, I would definitely do that. I really, really like being fit and keeping active, so I'll probably keep pursuing that after retirement, I guess. But yeah, probably as a career, engineering probably. What are your shooting plans for next year? It's a bit complicated because we don't 100% know the calendar yet, and it keeps changing every 5 minutes. So I'm planning on shooting both the European Airgun and the European 50 and 300 metre events, which are both next year. We have the World Championships for rifle and pistol are supposed to be in Cairo at the end of next year in October. There's also a few World Cups next year which I'm planning on going to. We've just had another one added in Rio, so I don't know if I'll be going to that or not. I need to have a look at that plan. And I'm hoping to shoot at the World University Games next year. They were supposed to be last year, and actually it's my last ones because I'm now too old. There's an age limit of the year you turn 25 is the year you're no longer eligible, but thankfully they've because they were postponed, they've allowed anybody who was going to be the right age last year to still compete this year. So I'm hoping to go to World University Games this year as my last ones. Have I ever been in South America? Yes, I have been in South America. I've been to Rio and shot a World Cup there, but that's the only time I've ever been to South America. I'd very much like to visit South America as a tourist. There's a lot of like amazing cultural stuff down there, so I would very much like to visit, but haven't had a chance yet. Favourite fantasy writers? Now see, I'm obligated to say my sister at this point. No, I'm just joking. No, but Jen's books are really, really good. And I've loved her writing. Other favourite fantasy authors, purely fantasy or like science fiction as well, because Becky Chambers is one of my favourite authors, but that's more science fiction than fantasy. David Eddings' books, the Belgariad's one of my favourites, and the Elenium. Who else have we got lying around? Evan Winter has written a book, a couple of books that I've got. I've only read the first one, but it was amazing. Got the second one to read. Sarah J Maas, Madeline Miller. There's tons, to be honest. But my absolute favourite fantasy writer has to be my sister. What other sports were you into when you were younger? I used to take tennis lessons when I was younger. I think I stopped when I was about 12-ish, something like that. I moved school and it was suddenly a bit difficult for me to keep going to tennis. So I played tennis. I also did gymnastics as a youngster until such point as I was told I was too big and I was never going to be an Olympic gymnast. And then I stopped. We got a couple of, at the time they seemed like adults to me, but in hindsight they were probably just like teenagers or students. We got a couple of sort of teaching assistants came into our gymnastics class, and they were pretty brutal, to be honest. I didn't really like the culture that was kind of there. Didn't really know that as a sort of 8 or 9 year old, but I was kind of suddenly like, I'm not enjoying this anymore. It was dangerous. I felt like I was going to be injured or something, so I stopped gymnastics pretty quickly after that. I've started doing like adult gymnastics now, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So in some ways I kind of wish that there'd been different kind of encouragement as a kid, because I would have kept it up. I guess it was always kind of talked to me like, oh, you're going to be an Olympian or you're not, in gymnastics. And because I was too tall, I was never going to be like an Olympic level gymnast. But I could have, if I'd stuck with it, I could have better mobility and better flexibility, better strength now if I'd kept with it. They're probably right, I would never have been Olympic level gymnast because I am too tall, but I might have been a bit fitter in general if I'd stuck with it. So I did that too. We did lots of sports and stuff at school as well. We did hockey, basketball, swimming, athletics, cross country, oh my god. What else did we do? Tennis, I guess, we already did that. So I tried lots of sports at school. I didn't really do any of them. Tennis and gymnastics were kind of my big ones that I did, yeah. What other shooting sports do I do? I don't do any other shooting sports. I only do target shooting, and I only do the Olympic disciplines plus 300 metre these days. I used to shoot full bore, just haven't had the chance. Would love to go back to it, but yeah, haven't had the chance to go back to full bore. The season for full bore and the season for 2-2 seem to overlap, so I just haven't had the chance. But yeah, I've never done I tried archery once. I've tried shotgun a couple of times, but I don't like do either of those as such. What's your main goal of life and how long have you had it on your mind? My main goal of life? Die happy, I guess. Yeah, I don't really know. What's my main goal of life? What would I like to get out of life? I like to learn, so if I can learn as much as I can, then I'll be happy. How long have I had it on my mind? Long time, I guess. Yeah. Now we have a few quick fire questions. Quiet night in or big night out in the town? Quiet night in, I'm really not a fan of big nights out. Tea or coffee? Tea, I don't like coffee. How do you relax/wind down at the end of the day? How do I actually wind down at the end of the day, or how am I supposed to? I actually wind down at the end of the day by continuing to scroll through Instagram, which I know is really bad for me and I'm trying to stop. How I would actually like to wind down at the end of the day is by reading a book before I go to bed. I used to do that, I've just got out of the habit and I need to get back into the habit. Sometimes I like to have a bath, except in my new place I don't have a bath. So I have a hot shower. Yeah, that's pretty much it. What rifle do I use? Good question. For my air rifle I use a Pardini, and for 2.2 I use a Grunig R3 Racer, and for 300 metre I use an FT300, also a Grunig. What's it like to travel for competition? It's really cool travelling for competition. There's a lot of exciting things when we travel. Because I live in Scotland, it's a bit annoying because a lot of the time I have to go to London before I can then travel on to anywhere else. So it usually adds like a whole day's travelling rather than sort of half a day if I was to live closer to an airport that actually went to the rest of the world. The being on hotels and stuff is quite like, it's very varied. We've stayed in places that are like box rooms, and we've stayed in places that are like the Ritz. So yeah, it's pretty varied. Sometimes I miss home a wee bit, especially if I've been doing lots of travelling, then I miss home. It's not so much the place that I miss being though, it's my friends and all the kind of stuff that I do at home. I kind of miss that sometimes. I normally miss the food. I'm quite picky about, well, I'm not really picky, but a lot of the places we go, it feels like we don't get very many vegetables, so quite often I kind of miss my own food when we go away. But it's really cool when you travel, like I obviously get to see all my like international friends that I compete with. You get to see them, get to see everybody's doing. Sometimes you get to see a bit of the country you're going to, but not very often. That more happens if you're going like long haul, because you have to go extra days early to get over jet lag and things. You can normally have a couple of days to sort of go and see where you are. But when we're just going over to like Europe or whatever, we just go the day before training starts, and you never really have much time to actually see the country that you're in, which is a bit of a shame, but it's given me a long list of travel destinations I like to visit later on in life. How did you prepare for the Olympics? Food, exercise, social life, packing, training, etc. You can go and watch my first vlog if you're really interested in something that I'll put up here, hopefully. There's lots of stuff in there about how I prepped for the games. It's probably easier if you just watch that. Favourite music to listen to when I'm happy or sad? I don't know, do you guys listen to happy music when you're sad to try and make you happier, or do you listen to sad music when you're sad to like feel more sad? I do both of these things, depends what kind of mood I'm in. When I'm sad, I've recently been introduced to an artist called City and Colour, who I've basically not stopped listening to for the last like 2 months. It's fantastic. Listening to that. Dido, I listen to a lot of Dido when I'm sad. Avril Lavigne, that's more sort of angry sad. When I'm happy, Mike and the Mechanics never fails. Genesis, Phil Collins, that kind of thing. Miley Cyrus, I guess. I quite like Miley Cyrus. Let's see what else we've got on here. Let's look at my top rated and see what's in here. Seems to be a lot of 80s pop. Oh, Grace Potter. I love Grace Potter. Either sad or happy, she's got songs for both. Grace Potter's amazing. I listen to a lot of soundtrack music. That's neither happy nor sad, but like soundtrack music really makes me like feel. So I listen to a lot of soundtrack music. Mumford & Sons. Yeah. That's pretty much, it's not pretty much it. Like I'm very into my music, so there's a lot of music. Paul Carrick, there you go. That's a happy music. I listen to a lot of Paul Carrick. I listen to an awful lot of different things, but there's a small insight for you. Who is my inspiration? My inspiration to get involved in the sport, I guess, was probably my sister and my dad. My mum indirectly, because she inspired my sister, and then my sister inspired me, so that point of view is family, I suppose. My inspiration in life in general, I don't know, I have lots of inspirations. Ronda Rousey once said something about be the best in the world on your worst day and you could never lose. I always find that very inspirational. Katherine Granger's I've always found very inspirational as well, just from her like ability to balance serious education and serious sport. Obviously it's something I'm interested in as well, so I find her to be quite inspiring. Spock from Star Trek, there's an inspiration for you. Speaking of which, are you looking forward to Strange New Worlds? Strange New Worlds, if you don't know, is a new Star Trek TV show that is coming out that's set around Captain Pike and his Enterprise before the events of the original series. Yes, I'm very excited to watch Strange New Worlds. Captain Pike and Spock were in season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, which I also love, and they were absolutely amazing, so I'm very, very excited for that to come out. Apparently we have to wait a bit longer over here. Paramount Plus is only available in the States, I think, or we don't have it in the UK yet, so I think we're going to get all of those TV shows just a little bit later than everybody else. And my last question, where is my favourite gym? I'm pretty sure I know who this question came from. My favourite gym, I've been to a lot of gyms over the years, mostly in the central belt of Scotland. When I was at uni, my undergraduate, I trained at Orium, which is the performance centre at Heriot Watt University. I trained there. It's a really nice facility, it's got a lot of equipment, but it's freezing, and we had to share it with the rugby teams, which as a small female is sometimes quite daunting. I also used to train at Stirling University during the summers when I was staying at home with my parents, so I don't really know much about Stirling Uni, to be fair, but yeah, again, it was a nice institute facility, Scottish Institute of Sport facility. I trained at Edinburgh University when I was there. For the last couple of years I've been training at Edinburgh University. Again, they've got a fantastic facility. Their performance gym's the one I really trained in. The whole Pleasance complex is amazing. It's like a rabbit warren and they've got literally everything. That's where I continue to shoot. So their facility is amazing. At the moment I've been training at Strathclyde University. I'm pointing that way like you know where it is. It's actually that way, I think. Strathclyde University, their gym complex is almost brand new as well. It's only a few years old, and again, it's amazing. They've got a pool there, which is really fab. So yeah, their facility is amazing. The building that I'm staying in has a wee gym, which has been really nice actually, just like being able to roll out of my bed and go down to the gym, or getting back late at night and just going down to the gym has been really nice. But my absolute favourite gym, which I'm sure this person will be delighted to hear, is Primal Gym down in Edinburgh, which is where I've been going for all my gymnastics classes and things, where I've been learning my handstands that you've showed me, or that I showed you. I've been working with Andy down at Primal Gym, who's been helping me learn to handstand properly. So yeah, Primal Gym is my favourite gym. So hope you guys enjoyed the Q&A. If you have any more Hughes, I guess, questions, you can DM me on Instagram or send me a message on Facebook or whatever, and I'll try and answer them. I'm sure I'll do another one of these videos at some point, or leave them in the comments, I guess. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.